Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Viewers Club. My name is Megan.
My name is Tess.
And my name is Lukas.
And welcome back. And today we are talking about none other than James Bond 007, Shaken Not Stirred. You know. The man with a million names.
License to kill.
License to kill. He doesn't have a million names, he only uses one. So we're talking about James Bond. Specifically, we're talking about Daniel Craig's James Bond, and even more specifically, we're talking about his very first appearance as James Bond, Casino Royale.
Iconic.
Classic. True classic.
So good.
Mm-hmm. So the big reason that we're talking about James Bond is that I have been plagued with the trailer of his new upcoming, who knows when it's going to be released, James Bond finale for Daniel Craig, you know. I don't know about you guys, I've been taunted with teasers and trailers and it's not coming out anytime soon.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought today would be fun if we talked about his very first movie, to get our minds off of the trailer, and then in the future do a series review just before the movie comes out. Let me give you a quick, brief, non-spoiler synopsis. Casino Royale follows the story of James Bond, as he enters a high-stakes poker tournament to get a global terrorist, more specifically, to get his money. That is the non-spoiler version. The spoiler version, and here it comes, here's your warning. In the process, he looks at his human emotions, because apparently he doesn't have those, and falls in love with a woman who will ultimately betray him. So, there's James Bond in a nutshell.
Love it.
And I want to start off with your guys' overall opinion of Casino Royale. What's your general feeling towards the movie in general? How many times can I use that word?
Well, in generally I feel like it's generally like general.
Right, yeah.
It's not general.
Well put.
It's not general.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, yes. Couldn't have said it better myself. So, what's your guys' overall feeling of Casino Royale? Tessa, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll go. Personally, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree with this, but it is so iconic. And it's so well, now it's pretty cliche, but but it was
really
definitely the film of its time when it came out. Is like the action movie that everyone just fell in love with, and I love it so much.
Lukas?
Yeah, I mean, ditto. It's a classic spy movie, and I really like how it brought James Bond, his character, and kind of the stories around the books back into kind of the modern media, and how, I think this is a movie that really started a franchise that so many people are familiar with, and so many people kind of think of as the pinnacle spy series. And it did, I think it did a really great job of making the story engaging and kind of really true to the spirit of James Bond.
Absolutely. I mean, like, compared to the previous James Bonds, and I love all of the James Bonds. I have seen a majority of the old ones, but comparing this version to all of the other ones, this one was just like a fresh take on it.
Yeah.
It was really modern. It felt really realistic when it first came out. For a spy movie. Spy movies aren't generally realistic.
Yeah.
But
So
like,
real.
it's so real. It just felt like it was real.
Yeah.
And that's what I really enjoyed about it. Looking back on it now, there's so many James Bond cliches in it. It's just...
They were done
but
very
it's still
tastefully.
really... Exactly. It's still a really good movie. And you kind of just get sucked into this world of the spy, of espionage, of, taking down the bad guy, of this whole, like, suave, like, sophisticated feeling to James Bond that I don't think any other spy movie has been able to replicate. Which is something we'll get into in a few minutes. But I personally just really enjoyed the movie. So now that we kind of went into the overall of the film, is there like a specific moment that you just really loved about the movie? Lukas, do you want to start us off on this one?
Yeah, sure. My scene is kind of a super spoiler, and it's like it's at the very
They've been
end
warned.
of the film.
They've been warned.
Yeah. So listen, you've been warned, guys. Listen at your own risk. I think one of my favorite scenes has to be just the very last scene, or the scenes at the very end where Vesper is trapped inside of the elevator as it sinks lower into the building.
Oh, yeah.
Just she knew that she had betrayed him, and kind of that living with that was worse than dying, and just the expression on both of their actors, James's desperation to get her out, and kind of as she dies, kind of that last stretch of her hand out to James. Just every bit of that scene was really beautiful and heartbreaking, and I think it was also filmed really well. That whole sequence, I thought, was the way that it had to have been filmed. It was just really, really captivating and really well done.
It was a real turning point for the character, for James Bond.
Yeah.
Because like in the beginning, he could care less about women in general.
Right.
It was like, what's the next job? I don't care. It's like, what do I have to do? But then to like see him have these more human emotions. And then all of a sudden he reverts back to his old self, where it's like, I don't have emotions. I'm a shell of a man. I have no emotions anymore. It's just,
right.
It was really well done. I think it was really great character development on James Bond's part, for him, so yeah, it was just really good. I do wish at some points that we got to see more of Vesper's story throughout.
Yeah.
So that way we could see that there was something not quite right about her, but I understand why they didn't do that. But still, it would have been really great to see her, like, doing more of her own espionage stuff to give more emotion and a stronger emotion for that. But still, really well done.
Oh, yeah. And Eva Green, gosh, she slayed it. She slays every role
she does
plays,
in everything.
Right? I mean...
Tess, do you have a favorite moment?
I do. Well, besides that scene... my other most top favorite scene is the huge fight scene in the stairwell.
Oh yeah,
kind of towards the
middle-ish?
early middle of the movie.
Pretty much the second act of the film.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine like choreographing a fight on stairs and like making it look real and like believable, and like falling everywhere. They did an incredible job in that scene, and they really made it feel like there was a lot at stake, it was high intensity.
I think that's the one thing about James Bond, is that they put a lot into their fight scenes, and that one in particular was so tense.
Yeah,
because not only is he fighting off like two terrorists, he's trying to save her throughout the entire
right.
Really good.
Yeah.
Then he goes back to the card game. It's just
right. It's like, anyways.
Nothing happened. Hi, how are you?
Right. And you changed your shut.
Yeah, those are great ones.
How about you?
I think for me there's so many. There's so many. I'm gonna narrow it down to two that I can't pick between. They're kind of tied for some of my favorite moments. The first one is the opening scene, when it's all in black and white.
Yeah.
And we learn how he became a 00, and it's just like, it feels like a film noir in the very beginning.
Yeah, it was so
it's so intense, and you're just like, what's gonna happen? Even though you know what's gonna happen. It's so well done, and I'd love to see more scenes like that with spies in general, where it's all these word games and then just shoot him, done. I'm a 00. And then of course that iconic shoot into the spiral.
Yes.
And then the other scene that always fights for it is when he's actually playing poker.
Right.
With in that intense, like, millions and millions of dollars being thrown into the pot,
Right.
It's just I love watching that scene because it really is, that scene is all about facial expressions.
It is.
There's very little dialogue, and it's all about what they're seeing on their face. So it's like James trying to deduce, like, am I at a good point? I think I can bluff this, you know?
Right.
And then it turns out that he got
Yeah.
then he got bluffed, and it was like so good. I just
Yeah.
those two scenes are from this movie in particular are just so hard for me to choose which one is my favorite. So I always get stuck between the two. So,
if I may, I also have a scene that I wanted to add to my favorite moments. It's the scene where James and Vesper, I think it's the scene where they first meet, and they're on the plane, and kind of just...
The train.
The train, okay. I knew it was something ending in "ain."
Okay.
Continue.
Anyway,
Move past this.
I loved kind of the battle of wits between them, and kind of the exchange of when they were first meeting. Instantly, there's chemistry, but there's also just the hint of just maybe a little bit of rivalry, but hint of they have such great chemistry, and I feel like that scene really highlighted a lot about their relationship.
They had great chemistry.
Yeah.
Next segment that we're going to narrow in on is actually the spy movie genre as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
For me, personally, I've seen a bunch of spy movies. There are a lot out there, but for me, there's only really 3 spies, if that will make any sense in a minute. There's James Bond, Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible, and Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
I was going to say that too.
They're like the only 3 spies in the world.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which makes me so happy that James Bond, that 007 is going to be played by a woman in the future. I'm very excited about it.
Oh, is that confirmed?
It's apparently confirmed. I'm going to double check on it. But I believe that she is going to be the new 007. Yeah, so she's been confirmed. Lashana Lynch is confirmed to be the next 007. And I'm so excited for her.
To her, yeah.
Oh, and she's the agent that's in the trailer, right?
Yeah. She's the one who's sitting there like, I'll shoot your kneecaps.
Yes.
Stay in your lane. You get in my way, I will put a bullet in your knee. The one that works.
Nice.
Love it.
But I'm very excited that she's going to be the new 007. But let's go back to the other, our spy boys. Like I said, there's like 3 spies, basically. There's Ethan Hunt, James Bond, and Jason Bourne. Mm-hmm. So what's your guys' like overall feeling of the spy genre? And do you want more spy movies? Do you want less spy movies? Like, just what's a feeling that you have when you see a spy movie? I'll let you guys... There's a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
For me, it comes down to, like, it's only good if it's done right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that these 3 different spies give off completely different feelings for their movies.
They do.
They really do. So, like, Mission Impossible movies, they started out super serious, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, they lacked, even in the beginning, they lacked that, like, sophistication and suaveness that James Bond has.
Yeah.
And Mission Impossible, for me, has become more of, like, a comedic spy movie. Like, it's not completely funny, but it's not super, super serious.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Simon Pegg
Ocean's
is, like, the
mixed with
best.
spy movies.
Mm-hmm. And then Jason Bourne, for me, is, like, action spy.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, James Bond is like I said, like suave, sophisticated spy. But like that's the feeling I get when I see a spy movie.
Right.
And it really depends on if it's done right, you know?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I think I completely agree with all of your assessments. Each of those characters play like a different kind of spy, kind of in a different setting. Like you said, James Bond is kind of the more sophisticated, classy spy.
Grown-up spy.
Yeah, grown-up spy. And then Ethan Hunt's more of the kind of like still a spy, but with kind of more of an Ocean's 11, Ocean's 8 feel, where it's...
a more blunt tool kind of spy.
Yes, yeah kind of, more blunt tool. and kind of like what you would think of as like there's not so much style. It's just kind of like, we got to do it. We got to do this. We got to get it done.
Less flair, more
yes,
straight to the point.
yeah, absolutely. And then Jason Bourne is just like all action and more in the shadows, like the kind of spy where it's kind of like you'd think of on a more hidden government scale, where it's really utilizing like hidden in the shadows and keeping a low profile. And they kind of highlight different aspects of that spy genre. And I feel like a lot of spy movies are just imitations of those specific spies. They might be trying to, or those specific movies where they might be trying to find a blend of certain spy characteristics. And I feel like they just end up falling short because they're trying to imitate it so much. So I think I would like to see more in the spy world, because there are so many different nuances and elements of the spy genre that are really cool from a storytelling point of view that I would really like to see explored more. I just think they need to be presented in a newer, more original fashion with kind of newer characters, a new take on, or a new perspective on the spy world.
Give us a twist. It's kind of like how Knives Out was the big murder mystery twist that we all needed. It was like really refreshing for the murder mystery genre, you know? So it's kind of like we need a spy movie kind of like that to give us somebody different than just these three gentlemen.
Right.
Tessa, what do you think of the genre?
Well, I mean, totally agree with what you guys are saying. Make some very good points, and I think for me, I'd like to see more female lead roles.
Same. It's such a male-dominated genre, isn't it?
But but yeah, I mean, it's great. I love them.
They have a new all-girl group spy movie coming out. Let me just...
Oh, I know what you're... Yeah. Doesn't it have Emily Blunt in it?
And Lupita... 350... The 355. The 355.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I think is a new female spy movie. They have it labeled as mystery adventure, but, you know, still. It's all female-led. My big worry is that it's going to lead itself more into action, you know, than espionage.
Oh,
that's the fun part.
It wasn't Emily Blunt, it was Jessica Chastain. I always get her mixed up with her. Anyways.
There was one kind of espionage movie with a female lead, and I don't know if you guys saw it. If not, I think you should, because I really enjoyed it. It came out in 2010, and it's Salt.
Yes. I've seen Salt. And then also, there was another one called... Atomic Blonde. I haven't seen that one yet, but I've heard
Atomic Blonde
is
really supposed to be really good.
Yeah, and that she did like all of her own stunts too. I'm like, dang.
I think if we go back to Salt, that one I think kind of got forgotten about for a long time. It doesn't have the highest rating on like Rotten Tomatoes or anything, but who judges it on that? I don't know. That one gave me a feeling of like Jason Bourne in a way. But I was really glad to see that it was a female lead in it. You know.
Right.
Just bring us more of that. That would be so much fun. Do you know how much fun it'd be to have female-led spy movie? And not like an action spy movie, but like an espionage spy movie.
I have a question for you guys. Because this is how I feel about just spies and like the spy genre in general and females in the spy world. I think that females are not only... It's more interesting to see them as spies, but I just think they're better as spies. They can do, like, I think they have the ability to do more because of kind of society's...
They're underestimated.
Yes, like society's
throughout the
expectation of them works in their favor.
Right.
And that's kind of what I want to see. Just not like so bluntly, you know what I mean? I don't want him to be like every guy that she comes in contact with is like underestimating her skill the entire time, you know? But like... that's why I'm so excited to have a female 007, because my hope is that they make her movies just as similar to the Bonds that came before her, you know?
Mhm.
The whole, this is suave, sexy, sophisticated, and smart, you know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
but the spy genre is just like, it's very male dominated
Yeah.
right now. So it will be very, very nice to have, to get more of these female spy movies to come out. Just make more of them, please and thank you.
I'm really interested to see the direction that these new movies are going to take. I'm interested to see where a lot of the spy genre goes. There's also a show. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called Killing Eve.
I've heard of it. My mother loves it. I need to watch it.
So, for those of you who don't know what it is, Killing Eve is a BBC series, and it was the first couple seasons. I think. Well, it was created by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who I adore. She is a Emmy-winning writer and actress. But she's written a lot recently. She wrote the show Fleabag, which I also love, and she wrote Killing Eve, which are two completely different genres, and both of them were nominated for best comedic and best drama show at the last.
She's a fantastic writer.
Oh yeah,
she's
so good. Interestingly enough, she was brought on, kind of tying it to the world of 007. She was brought on as a writer for the new James Bond film, No Time to Die.
She got added on later, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, kind of to spice up the script and just kind of...
Yeah.
That'd be so cool to be at that place in your writing where they're like, hey,
somebody from James Bond is like...
make this script better.
Right? Wow.
It's so good. I can't wait to see what she does with it.
Yes, and I'm excited. It's kind of trying to tie everything together with basically women at the front of the spy genre. She I think she's been doing that with Killing Eve, because it has Jodie. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it has Sandra Oh, who plays Eve in Killing Eve, and then Villanelle, who is kind of like the other spy in the series. It's a new spin on the genre that I feel like is kind of, it's going to be reminiscent of where the spy genre is going for women, and kind of gives you a good idea of what that looks like. And I'm really excited to have someone like Phoebe kind of at the forefront and have a hand in shaping where James Bond is going to go and where that series is going to go.
I hope she writes future movies for James Bond.
Yes.
To kind of bring this discussion back to Casino Royale. And, we're talking about that.
Oh, right.
I think that we've made some really good points about the flaws of the spy movie, which is that it lacks a lot of strong female characters who are not objects of like sex, you know, who are independent thinkers, who are like, who can be just as good or just as bad as the leading male, you know. I think Mission Impossible does women both a service and a disservice, if that makes any sense. If you've seen any of the Mission Impossible movies, we're lucky that there are actually women in it. And they have their own thought process and stuff, but then again, it always comes back to they are the objects, the romantic objects of the leads. It's listen, spy movies and Hollywood in general, you got to do better at writing your female characters. I promise you, it's worth it. So, where were we? I guess a fun question to throw in. Have you guys seen other Bonds, like previous Bond movies?
Yes.
Previous what? Oh, Bonds?
Previous Bond movies. So ones that weren't Daniel Craig.
I'm not sure. If I did, it was like after I saw the Daniel Craig version.
Okay.
You know?
Same.
So then same, but well, actually not, because my family likes the older Bond movies. So we'll save that question for a future episode when we've seen more James Bond movies. I was going to ask like favorite portrayal of James Bond, but I guess we'll just kind of close it, come to a closing of this episode, of like any closing comments that you want to make on James Bond, cinematography, fight choreography, lighting and cinematography, music, like are there any of those elements from Casino Royale that you just have to talk about?
I just have to say that Judi Dench is amazing.
She's queen.
Oh my gosh, she is such a queen. I love her so much.
She really is amazing.
You know that you're good at what you do when there's a literal saying after your last name that means something is good. Like, in England, I think they say, that's so dench, to mean something's good. Like, you know you've made it.
Wow.
I love that.
That is success.
I need to start saying that from now on.
That's so dench.
That's so dench.
That's so dench.
Wow.
I think for Casino Royale, my closing thoughts on it would just be that I think Daniel Craig did a fantastic job bringing back that classic character into a new generation for people to enjoy. I think he presented the complexities and sophistication of that character very well, and really captured the spirit of what James Bond is. Really, what those stories are about, and kind of just capturing the essence of that character. So I just, I have to commend him for doing, because I mean I can't imagine the amount of pressure as an actor.
I do know, or at least I've heard, that he was ready to get out of this contract for Bond, because he's been playing James Bond for a long time,
Understandable.
with such few movies, and he has to work so hard to get into shape for that character.
I can't imagine the physical strain of it.
Oh my goodness.
Coupled with the emotional.
Right. So for Daniel Craig, thank you for playing James Bond. You were a fantastic one, but we're very excited to see the new 007. Yeah. So, absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Tessa, do you have any closing comments?
I don't think so. I mean, it's all just so phenomenal and iconic, and the music especially is, oh my gosh,
so memorable.
Yeah.
You know it's a spy movie, and you know it's James Bond.
Yeah. So
it's kind of
well
like
done.
It's kind of like the Iron Man or the first Avengers movie of the James Bond series, if that makes sense. Like, kind of launching that franchise.
It's like it was bringing it back to life. It's really, really good. I want to give props to the fight choreographer. For the people who designed those fight scenes. They're mainly they happened towards the end, but they were mainly in the beginning when he's running through everywhere to get to the bomb maker,
right?
Like running through a construction site. He's like, it's just, I can't imagine how long that took to plan that. It was so well done. And to everyone who worked on this Casino Royale, that movie was so much fun to watch. It's thoroughly enjoyable. So I guess that's it from us. I mean, Casino Royale is only one movie in the plethora of James Bond movies. This is only Daniel Craig too. I mean, there's so many Bonds that have come before him. So that'll be discussion for another time. What is your guys' favorite moment from Casino Royale? Let us know in the comments. Also, let us know which James Bond / Bond movie we should talk about next. There's plenty of them to choose from.
Right.
Trust me, there's so many. They just get better.
Thank you, Ian Fleming. Thank you. We appreciate the writing material.
Rest in peace, Sean Connery.
Oh,
yes.
An amazing Bond as well. He was great.
Rest in peace, Sean Connery. You are the man.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of The Viewers Club. My name is Megan.
My name is Tess.
And my name is Lukas.
And you guys have a good.
Have a good,
everyone.
Was that you guys too? Like, listen, I don't know how to play poker. Even after watching this movie, I still don't know how to play poker.
No.
So was anyone else just confused the entire time, just like,
All I
is this a
know
good thing or
Just
a
keep a
bad
straight
thing?
Everyone has a
face.
tell.
Everyone has a tell. And you know it'd be funny if we were there, we wouldn't know what our tell is.
Right?
No.
We would just keep throwing money into the pot like we were winning, and people would be like, these people are crazy. They
I
can't.
would just stare at Daniel Craig, unblinking, the whole game. I wouldn't even look at my cards. I wouldn't even
like
know
you
if
were-
I was winning.
A gorgeous
see you
human
doing
being,
that.
Daniel Craig.
I would just
like-
be like, go fish.